unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it. Technologic.
Live from studios in South Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. That is true.
Welcome into the Hey Techie Show.
Wow, is there a funeral that just happened?
Why?
It's very...
I sound funny.
Ha, ha, ha.
No, it just doesn't sound right.
It's very low-key here tonight. Yes, welcome into the Hey Techie Show. Bruce, how are you doing?
Wonderful. Still, I sound weird.
No, you sound the same.
Well, in my headset, I sound
how's the Guru?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I sound weird too. I'm not loud enough.
What are you? What? Yeah, you are.
Has anybody messed with the dials over there? I sound like I have too much high and not enough mediums.
I don't
think.
I actually
fine,
don't think
Bruce.
there's adjustment for that over there.
Yeah.
I think it's just that's an internal thing. But anyway,
Internal to my vocal cord.
yeah, that too. That is a good point. I really wasn't mentioning that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. So all kind of stuff going on. A lot we can talk about tonight.
It's going to get political or just opinionated or
it could if we decide to do that. And I don't know.
Maybe controversial. I don't know. We probably did that last week too, to be honest. Didn't get any hate mail, so I guess that's good.
Have you checked your email lately? I'm just kidding.
Not for this account, no.
Well,
it goes straight to
on a different note. There is a. Well, I don't want to know if it's connected to the show per se, because it is in our own minds, I guess, at least in Bruce's mind. But your girl won her lawsuit.
Oh yeah. Didn't you send me a text on that or something? I was like, how do I know about this?
Yeah, your girl won her lawsuit, and the thing that's interesting to several things interesting here. Number one, if you don't know, we're talking about Taylor Swift, and she countersued for $1. He has to pay her $1, and I mean, obviously, they both have legal bills. He has a lot more, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
that won't be. I mean, he was
classy of her though. Just
she was just making Have you? I don't know if any of you are listening tonight. If you saw the photo that is supposedly where he is grabbing her,
I have not.
Let me just say it this way.
Where have you seen the photo?
Oh yes, you can go find it. If he's not, somebody's lying, because he clearly is, and you don't. You only see it from. That's it right there.
This guy?
Yes. Look there. Look right there. Give me a break.
Look right where I can't see it. Nor can our listeners.
Really? Seriously?
I mean,
no.
It's a photo. You don't know. It could just be back there.
No, he is. Well, let me ask you this. Let's just think about this. Okay. What in the world would she have to gain for this bunch of nobody here to say that about him? I mean, really?
Oh yeah, she wouldn't have.
I mean, what in the world would she had to have gained by? If it's not fake or fiction. There's no doubt that he did what she said.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to know her personally. I just know. Look at the grin. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and
that picture. Yeah, it happened. Just trust us that it happened. All you've got to do is look at that picture. I guarantee you it happened the way she said it.
Well, Taylor would never lie.
Well, it's not about whether
Don't
she...
you...
Well,
don't
I don't
you
know.
dare say a bad thing about her. I will come after you.
I can't say whether she would...
Am I have to get between y'all?
You may.
Separate y'all?
No, that's okay. I
It's America's sweetheart.
Oh,
well, the problem
that's
is,
fighting words for Bruce.
one problem is, the truth of the matter is she tried to shake it off. but he wanted to sue, and actually the judge threw most of it out originally, and part of the decision was the final decision, I think, from what I understand, was based on her mother. And I'm thinking another relative, if I've got that right, he was still suing them as well.
So why was he suing her?
Well, because he said that they ruined his career by saying that he did that when he says he didn't have any. It was it's a countersuit. But
I think this mic is arcing.
oh my goodness. Well, anyway. It's not tech, obviously, but we cover stuff like this, and we've mentioned Taylor Swift. I don't know how many times on this show.
Just once or twice.
It's innumerable. I'm sure it's hard to count by now. But anyway, I found it fascinating. I've listened to some of it, not a lot, but I've read most of the stuff I've read. But my whole thing is, and I know I'm repeating myself, she's got no reason to do this. Matter of fact, this is something she wouldn't want anybody to know that happened.
Yeah.
I really think if he had not have tried to make a big deal out of everything, she would have just likely dropped it and been done, because nobody's ever heard of this guy. He's just I'm not dissing him, but he's a radio guy who's been through a lot of different jobs on the radio.
A lot of radio people usually do.
But
we're not radio people, by the way.
No, not really.
Can't you tell?
Yeah, I know you can. But I don't know. I just thought it was fascinating. And when they won this past week, I think it was, I said, well, I'm going to talk to Bruce about that, because we talk about her here on the show and played her music. And maybe one day we'll.
She said we can at any time that we want.
Right, sure she did, as long as she gets royalties.
Yeah.
And we don't play it on YouTube, so there you go.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, well,
I will say it's about time for her to come out with another album. Just saying.
Oh, you're just saying, huh?
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 years.
Well, Gary, what you been up to?
I was telling you before we came on, it feels like it's been 2 weeks since we've been on the air, but it's only been one.
Yeah, it's only been.
And I was here.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. You were.
Here, right?
Yes, you were.
I was here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if you want to be on the show, it's heytechieshow.com, and you can find out all the ways to interact with us, and then, of course, the phone number, 256-782.
5600. Got you.
Got me.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
I don't pause like make it look fit. Why are you saying things same time as me? You do. You start to slow down.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, anyway.
Sorry, Bruce.
Well, it's
No,
just,
you're
I'm
fine.
doing it for effect.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, 5600.
If they're taking the number down, you got to kind of like, all right, you ready?
Yeah, and you can be on the Hey
72.
Techie show tonight, and we'd be glad to have you.
And if you don't like to talk, email, Twitter,
Yeah,
Facebook,
Hey,
whatever we have.
questions
I
at
don't monitor it.
heytechieshow.com.
Guru will get it.
And
Oh. Maybe
Well, no,
maybe
the-
I'll get it.
yeah, yeah.
Trying to monitor all this at one time is
Oh, it's been the week,
Quite the
man. I gotta
challenge.
tell you, it has been the week. I've been slammed, hammered, as the
Hammered.
word I used.
Yeah.
And Bruce said I shouldn't be drinking at work. And
No,
I
you
totally
shouldn't.
agree,
No.
and I don't, unless you count the Southern sweet tea I drink.
you may have had too much of that.
Well, not today. I didn't. I didn't have time to have nothing really. And then, of course, I can blame myself. I was pre-warned, but I parked my car in a different place than I normally do. And the person said, "Hey,
Have you been parked out here all day?
yeah, I have." No. We're not here. Down here, I was parked down
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other side, and I got sap all over my car. My car's covered in sap.
Oh,
Just a
no.
thin line. Yeah, I'm about to wash it off tonight. Spray it off when I get home.
Spray it off.
Maybe it rained a little bit, but it was very little bit.
It's a Taylor Swift song. Spray it off. Spray it off.
No, it's not. It's the
Shake it off.
version of Shake It Off. And you could welcome to New York, too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
You got some of her songs queued up for tonight, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, no.
oh,
Well, man.
oh,
So,
Woobot is wanting to check in. I don't.
Oh yeah, we did this last week.
No, I don't think so.
He's trying to get some airtime.
You know, yeah, he is again apparently. But I have been checking in, just curious,
Yeah.
And so I'll say stuff. He'll ask me how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
He'll ask you how your energy is.
Is this purely like an emotional, like mental therapy or health app?
It's supposed to be. It sends you to a lot of videos to go watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they uplifting? Or is
The
it-
last one was about a relationship. Relationship seems like with a girl's relationship
Yeah.
with stuff.
as long as
Oh.
it's not the was it the ASPCA Sarah McLachlan?
That.
It's like that's horrible.
Yeah, I feel
Those
bad.
animals.
No, it asks
It's like,
you.
oh, you're feeling
It
good.
asks
Let
you
me
for your
knock that
energy.
down a notch.
It asks you for your energy level. Normally, I pick medium because I'm not high.
Just
And then it asks
medium?
you- yeah.
I hope you're not. He's getting high and hammered at work.
No. It's not that.
Energy level,
Yeah.
not high and hammered level.
Oh, well, when we come back, I'll have nothing to say.
I'll have plenty. As
Yeah.
always.
All right. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
We're just getting started. Plenty more Hey Techies Show for your listening pleasure.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back into the
Yeah.
Hey Techies Show.
Sorry.
As-
Michael was speechless. He was so touched
I
by
was
that
gonna
song.
say, as we contemplate that song.
I was just contemplating the eclipse.
I got
So we're gonna have what, 94% coverage or
95-ish.
Oh, so
Depending on how north you
it's
are.
that 1% that gets
That's
you.
right, the 1%ers.
I heard that if you get on top of Cheehaw, you can't look at it at all. It's so much higher. You're so much closer to the sun. Not even with
Oh,
glasses. Heard you're not even.
I don't think it works that way.
Oh, it doesn't work. Oh,
No,
really?
Don't think it works that way.
Oh,
So, do you plan on seeing if you can stare at it?
I have no idea. I've been so busy.
Just
I
like-
will have
just
to.
a second.
I am not. I can't believe you just said that.
What?
I'm not looking at the sun, and neither should anybody else.
Yeah, let's start with
Challenge accepted.
yeah. Well, first of all,
You need help.
that bumper song we played, it's not total eclipse of the heart. It's solar eclipse of the heart. I found that one of my friends on Facebook, and he's been a guest on the show, Adam Gooseby from the Pleasant Valley Robotics team. He shared that this morning on Facebook. I was like, oh, I got inspired. I was like, let's pull the audio down to that, and we'll play that as our bumper because we're going to have a little segment here about the Great American Solar Eclipse, as they're calling it, which I guess it's Great American if you're in America. Yeah.
So real quick, because I'm sure a lot of people are buying these solar glasses, and I think we said last week on the show, be careful about what you buy on Amazon. And you had an experience with that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to try to had a nice way of leading into that, but you kind of ruined it for me.
Oh, my bad.
Because this has been all over the news, and in case you haven't, let's start with this. Let me find it. Okay. So, of course, everybody knows, well, if you don't know, it's going to be Monday, at least here where we're at, around 12:30-ish.
Oh, man, it's going to be...
I'll just put it this way. We're got a bunch of links in the show notes. One of them is to NASA's Eclipse 2017 site. You can put in your location. Yeah. It'll tell you when it starts, when it ends, when totality is, the peak of it.
And where's this at?
It's in the show notes, heytechieshow.com. It's already out there. I already put those out there. But about the safety, please don't stare at the sun, folks.
Too long.
Don't stare at all. The Hey Techie Show does not encourage anybody to do anything that could potentially hurt your vision or anything else or anybody else. So this is not legal advice. This is not scientific advice. This is just some folks talking this advice, I guess you could say. No, but
so you could possibly look at it as long as you want. Who knows?
No,
we're not the ones to say.
Don't listen to Bruce. They make these solar eclipse glasses. This has been all over the news about. Some people are selling knockoff ones. So there's a certain ISO standard.
ISO 12312-2.
So if I bought the ones off Amazon, you think I'm safe?
There are some on Amazon that you could be safe with,
but that was kind of the lead.
But probably not the ones you bought.
So here's my story. Guess. So about a month ago, I ordered some, and I went to Amazon. I hate to say my go-to place, but it is my go-to place. Solar eclipse glasses. They even say these particular ones said they were ISO and that number certified, all that good stuff. Okay, well I'm good. It was like a 10-pack for $10 or $15. I was like, okay, so I can give one to my mother and a couple of people and bring the rest to work. No big deal. So I order them, get them in. Then the news starts talking about it, and then one of the news stories end up leading me to NASA's site, and there's a whole page here about the safety of viewing the eclipse, and part of it is what to look for in terms of the ISO standard and all that good stuff. But one thing, is it's talking about some reputable vendors that the American Astrological Society, I believe it is. In addition to that ISO standard, they have a list of, now the list has grown. It used to be 5, but it's more like maybe a dozen different companies that they recommend, not company, manufacturers. And they say look for this on the actual printed on there in addition to the standard, ISO standard. Well, the ones I'd purchased had no manufacturer information. So I was like, I'm a little skeptical here. Because anybody can stamp it's ISO approved.
Yeah, right.
So there was no way to vet who made these solar glasses. So I went back to Amazon, and of course, like a lot of things on Amazon, it's sold by a third party.
Sure.
So I contacted the seller, that company, and they're safe, they're fine. No. I said, well, I want to know who is the manufacturer of these. All they would send me is stuff saying they're certified, and they were certified by companies overseas. So I was like, I just didn't get this warm fuzzy feeling. So I went to Amazon and said, hey, you're selling these glasses, and the company cannot tell me what I need to know to verify these are safe and legit glasses. I want my money back. And Amazon's award-winning customer service, and I do say that truthfully here, they did arrange for me to return them to Amazon, and once they received them, they'd give me my credit. So I did that. Well, let's fast forward to this past Saturday. I'm at the house and I'm looking through my emails, and I've got an email from Amazon. And this is the one I think a lot of people got. And this really took on the news. I was trying to find the email, but basically the gist of it said it gave me your order number, blah blah blah, of this item, and it was those 10 glasses I'd ordered and already had sent back. These, we cannot verify the validity of these and verify the manufacturer, and we don't know for certain that these are safe to use, so we highly recommend that you do not use these, and furthermore, we're going to give you a refund.
Wow, that was nice.
And they did this for, I don't know how many.
So they refunded it twice.
I don't know. I haven't went back and looked at my statement, but.
Conveniently.
I wouldn't I wouldn't complain, but I haven't looked, so.
I will say this about Amazon. I have... not me personally, but I have seen where someone received something, had it for months because they were giving it as a gift.
Right.
The product ended up not working. They tried to work because it was one of those sellers through Amazon, and it was not a cheap product. I mean, it was over $100.
Yeah, that was the case with my solar glasses. The first round I ordered,
and
or a third-party seller.
Yeah, and that third-party seller refused to do anything about it. They were like, "Nope, sorry, you're out of luck. Like, you've had the product. Like, they didn't. I mean, wouldn't even exchange it. It's like,
really?
Look, yeah,
like
it's
like you're stuck with it.
Yeah, you're stuck with it. It's like, look, I just opened it. Like, it's not been opened, and then I wrapped it and gave it. Like, it was just open.
Because usually when you purchase a gift for somebody, you're purchasing it sometimes a little ways out.
Yeah. Well, so I contacted Amazon on behalf, because this is a family member, and they said, no, we'll refund it. And I said, okay, well, send me a shipping label so I can ship it back. They said, just keep it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I've had that happen before. Some certain things they just said, just keep it.
Yeah, they said just keep it.
So just please follow these links in the show notes if you're unsure about the ones you have or have acquired. Whether, because I know a lot of people
test them for a second.
One thing that some of the news outlets have been reporting the last couple of days, the only thing you should be able to see through them is the sun. So if you go outside when it's sunny,
right,
look up, and if all you can see is the sun, then you're good. If you can see anything else, you're not good, according to them. But I would refer you to NASA's site. They've got a detailed information of like the ISO standards printed there, plus companies that they say are reputable. These are legit, because you don't want to take a chance with your vision. Because the thing is, like your retinas, they have no pain receptors. You won't know you're damaging your eyes till it's too late. So please.
Yeah, I would think so.
And if you're unsure and if you can't find solar glasses, there's some alternatives. I know probably tons of the news organizations are going to cover this stuff live. NASA's going to have it live streaming.
Tweeter.
You can also make a pinhole projector with a cereal box, and I've got a video to how you do that. This was posted by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on how to do that. So a lot of good information out there.
Now, if you don't want to look, or if you are not where you can look at it, and you can get to your phone, there are going to be a lot of places online you can view it live. And one of those places...
that's what I said.
Oh.
Like NASA and...
Well, one of those places is a social network, Twitter. They will be teaming up...
Tweeter.
They will be teaming up
Hashtag
with the
something.
Weather Channel for live streaming.
Weather Channel.
So some of the footage will include cities from Idaho, Illinois, Missouri, Nebraska, Kentucky, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Wyoming. Of course, that's roughly the path of the totality.
Yeah.
And if you were curious about that, and also, if you are one of the individuals that are visually impaired, there is an app that actually will help you experience some of the eclipse as far as the audio part of it, lets you know when it's happening, these kind of things. So and there's also, I think, some Braille books that go with it.
Nice.
But it's
Very
called
nice.
the Eclipse Soundscapes Project. And
Okay.
the thing will be in the show notes. See, it quotes here, for individuals who cannot see, hearing is an ideal way to experience the eclipse, since soundscapes change dramatically as the moon passes between the Earth and Sun. One of the eclipse soundscape representatives wrote on the project's website. So, due to the change in light, nocturnal animals stir into action while diurnal animals settle.
How much looting do you think is going to happen?
How much what?
Looting?
I don't know. That is a good question. I hope not.
very little.
I hope not. But it might not be any more, any less on any other protest day.
That is true, and we will get into that, I'm sure, tonight.
Oh, let's not get into it.
Well, we got to a little bit because of what Cloudflare and GoDaddy and
That's later. Our dose.
yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna need it to be our dose.
Now, Guru, is that about all you?
No,
have?
I got some more.
Okay. Well, I was just
So,
wanted to cover a couple things
yeah.
here that added to it.
Oh, you got more?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, you done? Okay.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I found an article from Forbes, and this is titled 5 Things You Must Not Do During the Total.
Oh, yes.
During the totality.
Not stare at it. You must not stare.
Yeah,
You have to.
Let me start back at the totality thing. When at the moment of totality, when the moon is fully covering the sun, because it's going to kind of go from the moon will pass in front of the sun, so it'll be a transitional period where it'll finally hit totality. But here's the thing: people are saying that at the moment of totality, it's safe to look at without any kind of eye protection. But here's the thing: if you're in that 70, 80 mile swath where it's truly totality, that may be true. I don't know if it is. But here, where we're at in northeast Alabama, we're going to be in the 90th percentile, so it won't fully cover the sun for us. I want to throw that out
If you're
there.
an expert on this, please call in.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should have got somebody from like the physical and earth sciences to come.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to be holding a special showing.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they're having a special
here
event,
at Jacksonville
yeah.
State University. There is a special event. Yeah, I guess
I think it starts 12:30.
something like that. Mm-hmm.
If I arrive late, you think they'll?
What did you just say?
If I arrive late, you think they'll replay it for me?
Sure.
Well, let me go back to a Forbes article because I got off on a tangent there. So this was 5 things that they say you must not do. And these are interesting. Number 1, do not waste time photographing it. Totality is brief, and you won't experience it again for years. Experienced professional eclipse photographer will produce the best pictures, but you will only get your first person experience. So they say don't waste time photographing it. I can agree with that. Just experience it. Put your phone down and experience it.
I agree with that. With
Yeah.
most things.
Yeah, just take
Don't
it in.
photograph it. Just take it in.
Because there'll be plenty of pictures floating
Especially
around
if
the
you're
internet.
in Europe for a month, and your mom's like, "So what? How many pictures did you take?" What?
Yeah. So number 2, do not leave your eclipse glasses on during totality. That's what I was talking about earlier. But you've got to be in that small area where it's actually going to be true totality. So here, don't disregard that one here. Number 3, stop viewing the sun through binoculars and telescopes before totality ends. That goes back to number 2. Don't do that. Number 4, don't rely solely on your eyes. The temperature will plummet. Nocturnal animals may emerge, like Michael was saying. Street lamps will light up, and birds fall silent. Take it all in. What's wrong, Michael? You over there?
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm intently listening.
I thought you were
Nothing's wrong.
Okay. Number 5, don't notice, or do one thing exclusively. Taking the sun's active corona, the entire sky, the stars and the planets, and the shadow dark Earth before totality ends. Just kind of take in your surroundings.
Let me ask a dumb, ignorant, stupid.
There's no dumb questions.
Yes, it is. Uneducated, uninformed. How long is this actually going to last at any one spot? I'm standing in one spot
Okay.
in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Hang on. I'll find out.
He'll tell you.
If you give me just a minute to
Outside
find
your
it.
office. You're standing outside your office.
Sure.
Let me find the...
In the middle of the air.
There's a link somewhere.
Standing outside your window. floating.
Give me just a second, Michael. Try to stall for me.
Well, the reason I'm asking this is because I'm finding it hard to believe that animals will be that confused for more than the length. I mean, if it only lasts a few minutes, the sun's going to be back out.
Well, they'll go back to sleep.
But it's going to take time for it to transition. Like the darkest point is brief, but it'll be kind of like how the sun sets and the sun rises.
Another reason I'm bringing it up, my daughter came home and she said her teacher said it would last a total of 7 minutes. But even a total of 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still finding that map. Just give me a minute.
I'm just okay.
Hang on.
Yeah. Okay, but
7 minutes in heaven.
7 minutes, yeah. I'm going with enjoy it. It's probably not gonna last as long as you think it is. And two, it is a possibility that in our area it's going to be cloud covered and rainy.
Oh,
Last I heard it was
James Spann said that it is very possible.
Well, hang on a minute.
I've got him doing two things.
Long-time fan of the show.
Yeah, right. I got Guru doing two things right here.
Now,
I
got
actually,
one thing on my phone, one thing on the computer.
He's really.
Let's talk about the weather first. I got the other already.
He's multitasking.
That's right, multi-threading.
And we're talking about in Alabama.
He's actually programmed for that.
Northeast Alabama.
So
Central Northeast Alabama. One of those.
Monday, partly cloudy with a slight chance for a shower. So it depends. And it's so far out. You're still 5 days out from
Yeah,
that.
I know.
So in the BHAM, it'll be 93% coverage. The partial eclipse will also the partial will start at noon, and it will end around 2:56. Maximum coverage in Birmingham is at 131.
Thanks for telling us Thunder, Bruce.
That's what I do.
Here in Jacksonville, 95.27% of the coverage.
So see how much that 80 miles makes?
Yeah. So 2 hours. The total duration is 2 hours 56 minutes. The partial begins at 12:02 local in 40 seconds. The maximum is 1:33 and 42 seconds.
I want you to be standing there with a watch.
And the partial ends at 2:59 and 31 seconds.
Math, baby.
And here's the thing too. Let me.
I'm just saying that's pretty interesting. They got down to the second.
I know.
So that
doesn't fascinate you?
It does. I am.
You sound thrilled. You've had a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is fascinating. I'm just not sure I believe everything that every expert says is going to happen. I'm one of those.
Well,
people.
how about this? So
just one of those people.
So AAA Alabama is offering some driver safety tips during solar eclipse. look at him. He just put the. What's wrong, Michael?
How many people? Look, I want you to do this, but I'm going to quickly say this. Raise your hand if during the day you stand outside and look at the sun for more than 1 second. You stare at it. Oh, please.
Bruce has
You
his hand
do
up.
not even with sunglasses.
Yeah, no. I have
But we're telling people, oh, don't look at the sun.
I have to squint whenever I go outside
No
with
kidding.
sunglasses on. I have very sensitive eyes.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
I just find this
I
fascinating.
can't get glasses
So-
dark enough.
The AAA Alabama, which is the American Automobile Association, I believe
Yes.
that's what that stands for, is cautioning drivers to be mindful of traffic congestion and distracted driving during the solar eclipse on
Definitely
Monday.
that.
Although Alabama isn't in the totality zone of the eclipse, they note AAA Alabama notes more than half of the states half of Alabama, lives close enough to travel to see the eclipse. About 200 million people within 1 day's drive of the eclipse zone and may be searching for a view, said Clay Ingram,
stay at home.
AAA spokesperson. And this was on the news the other night because they said, like, to get I-95, because there's so many, that's kind of the main north-south on the eastern seaboard. There could be some serious traffic. People trying to get to that totality zone.
Today.
Oh, here's the thing. Some hotel rooms, they've been booked for months. And then some hotels try to pull some fast ones and actually cancel reservations, like blanketly cancel. That way they could charge more. And there's some states that are looking into that. see if they're violating any kind of consumer
I'm sure
protection
they
laws.
are.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey, if you're a like a gold or
How could you cancel rooms that you'd already booked?
they can just cancel them.
They reserve the right.
Cancel.
That's bad business practice.
I
can
I
say,
agree.
I'm just not
I
gonna
agree.
stay there anymore.
I agree. And a lot of
I mean, I can't. That
a lot of your loyalty programs and stuff, like they have guarantees. Like if you're a certain
Right, I
tier,
get
you have
that.
like a 72-hour guarantee. So it's like I could go book a room today.
I
and
can
have to be
safely
guaranteed
say
a
I
room.
don't stay at a lot of hotels, but of all the ones I've ever stayed at, I've never been canceled by the hotel.
I haven't either.
I find that very unlikely. I'm not saying that it's not happening, but I don't believe it's major chains.
It's probably not major
I
change. It's
don't
probably
believe so.
some of these independent ones. If I was willing to guess,
Yeah, I
'Cause
get,
the
I
major-
get that.
I wouldn't put it. There's still local management at those places, and some of those are still
Okay,
locally
so,
owned.
So here we go.
That's true. But
I don't know.
think that they have to kind of follow within protocol.
I'm not
of the
saying
company.
I know all of them. I don't know them personally. I'm just saying I find
do,
it hard to
and they're
believe.
doing
It's
it.
terrible business practice.
Anyway,
I agree. Well, do you not think terrible business practices go on every day?
Oh yeah,
Look at what Cloudflare's done, or GoDaddy.
yeah.
Oh,
The
I know.
thought police here.
Yeah, I know.
one last thing. One last thing. We talked about the videos. I got the video. Got a couple links to videos. That Solar Eclipse of the Heart. It's kind of a music video, so please watch that. The link will be in the show notes. Also, if you don't have been able to get a hold of some legit solar glasses, you can make a pinhole projector with something as simple as like a cereal box or shoe box. There's a video on how to do that. And here's something interesting. I found this is actually a Vimeo video, but it's the CBS news from 1979, the last major solar eclipse to come through the states that Walter Cronkite was anchoring.
Yeah.
Very interesting video.
Yes, it is.
So please,
and
take
he
a moment.
mentions 2017.
He
in
did.
the
He did
video,
mention
by the way.
2017, and
that was 1979.
yeah. And while we're mentioning the next one, I think what we say
45 wasn't it?
24 August of 2045 will be the next one that will come over the states. But guess what? Part of the totality path is right through Alabama, right through central
I
Alabama.
would be too old to enjoy
nice.
Oh,
You're almost there now.
it. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm too.
I'll make a deal with you.
Let's see.
If we're,
It's 2017.
I'll make a deal with you, Michael. Well, even if Hey Techies has ended by then, hopefully not. We'll resurrect Hey Techies, do a special show for the next one in the totality zone.
This is the High-Techy Show.
We'll do it.
Welcome. We're going to.
We'll have
see if we
Bruce
can-
Jr. to drive us down.
Yeah.
there.
We'll see if we can see the sun, the moon cross over from the sun or whatever. Yeah, that'll be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, when the Hey Techie Show returns,
The two of us that are excited about the clips, we'll keep talking about it.
I'm not excited about the eclipse. Hey Techie Show, be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techies show. Bruce, did you know this? He's still trying to figure out if exactly where
Yeah, I was saying it's gonna be 95.2%.
0.2.
Oh, where you'll be.
No. On the bib graved lawn.
Oh, the big. Oh, really?
What do they call that field?
The
Trustee field.
They don't call that anything. It's just the lawn in front of Bill Graves.
Sure.
Trustee field.
I don't know.
Sure.
Why not?
It's the big green lawn.
Yeah, the one that you never see anybody on, but I have walked across several times.
People get on the green big.
I think some of the cross country they practice
The-
running
Do they?
back and forth there. Yeah.
Yeah, but they practice really close to the parking lot,
Well,
or close to the street,
The big green lawn.
not just straight.
The
in
big
middle.
green lawn.
The big green lawn.
That's not a bad title either.
I was like the other one you said during the break. What the almost total eclipse of the show.
Yes. Almost a total eclipse.
Well, how about I say total eclipse of the show? That way it's not as wordy. But I'm guilty.
agree.
I'm guilty of being wordy about
That's
stuff.
hurtful.
I'm sorry.
Upset.
Well, let's just take it all. Take it all down.
Man, the sorry Wall Street Journal paywall.
So,
Did you know that the AT&T? I'm getting
Yeah.
there. AT&T Time Warner deal is still possibly going to happen.
no, I did not.
It's still advancing. Matter of fact, AT&T is going on as though it's going to finish. It's going to happen. But what's odd, what's fascinating to me about it, beyond all the things that we might not want it to happen, you know, all the normal things that you might think, well, they'll be too big. They'll have HBO. There's going to...
They will?
Yeah. Yeah. Time Warner. They own HBO.
Do they really?
I think so. Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's... Matter of fact, that's in this article, but now I can't see it because I read it once, and you can't read it more than once. It's paywall. Yeah, they have... let's see if I've got it up somewhere else. Yeah. But we'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Oh, I still got it up.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah, they own it. Yeah. Nope.
Wow.
No, nope. Paywall. Yep. You read it once. You're done. You saw it. Okay. So forget that. Anyway, I read it up to point out this.
Wow.
They talk about in this article how that in the campaign, Trump said he was not in favor of that. And matter of fact, he even mentioned several times that he would not be in favor of that. However,
Yeah.
it is very well pointed out in the article, which part of it I did read and do sort of agree with, that he does not make the decision. People are appointed that do make the decision, and there is an appointee of that committee that has not been finalized, and there is a question as to whether or not that'll happen before the end of this, but AT&T is very confident.
Man, this just blows my mind. I did not realize.
The AT&T is still fairly confident. Matter of fact, so confident that I think it's DirecTV, right?
Yeah.
The CEO of DirecTV, they've already said, and his name eludes me. He is going to be over the merger, and he'll be over Time Warner as well. That's what they said in this article, which I can't look at anymore without paying the Wall Street Journal, which is fine.
I can't find the link to it. So.
Oh yeah, it's in the show notes. You better read. You better read better, Bubba.
Man, I did
You're
not.
saying I'm blind?
Yes, I am.
That's
I
insane.
haven't looked at the
You need some
eclipse yet.
glasses?
Maybe.
Don't be looking at the clip.
All I can say is no.
Oh, you're talking about this Time Warner deal?
Yeah, there we go. Right there. Yeah.
This is
Go
more.
on.
What's beyond an empire?
No. I want you to think about this though. Let me say.
Okay.
Let me say.
All right.
I read
Give
some.
me something to think about.
Okay. So, along with that, Time Warner, what else do they own?
Oh, I'm sitting here looking at it. That's why I'm
FirstToGetItWrong.com.
Yeah, firstgetitwrong.com.
CNN. Okay. So
and CNN.
Okay. All right. So Trump and CNN, constant battle.
Yeah.
So what could it be said that Trump, they say, well, you just derailed us because you hate CNN. You figured out a way to derail this merger.
Yeah, but he said that publicly before the whole CNN
please,
debacle.
he did. I know. I'm not talking about truth.
Okay.
I'm talking about blame
About
and
spin-off.
accusation
Sure.
and spin-off. It's what I'm saying is he not in a little bit, how much influence could he really interject without being said he is doing this out of hatred for CNN? This is just me espousing, because all of these two companies are huge. They're pretty enormous.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm not for this, but
Absolutely not. Like, this is blows. I did not realize they had all these assets. This is insane.
yeah, they have a lot of assets.
That they do. Whole lot of junk.
That's a lot of junk in the trunk.
I'm serious. Like, this is just. I really want to sit down and go through.
Well, anyway, I thought I saw it and thought it was fascinating, and that, like you, a lot of people probably don't know, had assumed that this was a dead deal, but it is not a dead deal. By the way,
did
and
not
apparently
realize they
AT&T lawyers are going forward with it as though, and I've said this before, but I'm sort of reiterating, as though this is going to happen.
Yeah. Did
gonna
not
happen.
realize they owned Rotten Tomatoes and Fandango.
Okay.
Flickster and Flickster.
So-
Now, wait just a minute.
yeah.
Think about what you just said. They own Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
and Fandango.
Yeah.
You talk about a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
A big time conflict of
I
interest.
did not. And they own Flickster.
Flickster.
Movie clips.
That's like almost like fake sites. It's like fake news. You are fake sites.
Flickster?
Can't be trusted.
Oh, no. I'm not alluding to that. There's no No. I'm being serious. I was being jocular. I have no accusations to make against them, but
They used to own the Atlanta Hawks.
Somebody
and the
else.
Atlanta
Somebody else has got
Thrashers.
more accusations.
Wow, I did not realize that at one point they also owned 50% of Viacom.
Oh, really?
Viacom, yeah.
Or, excuse me, Comedy Central, they own 50% of it with Viacom.
Oh, okay.
Viacom
Not
complete-
Viacom.
No, Viacom.
I
with
know
a V.
that. I know
that
that.
owns Nickelodeon, MTV,
Right,
VH1,
correct.
Comedy
But
Central, all that.
But wait a minute. You're saying
At one point, they owned 50%. They had a 50% stake in Comedy Central.
in just Comedy Central?
Yeah.
Okay. So Viacom on 50 and Time Warner on 50.
Apparently, they also used to own. I know we're looking at used to own. What was I going to say? Six Flags.
Have a Six Flags day.
Yeah. Have a Six Flags day.
Did you have a Six Flags day today?
No.
No.
And they used to own Popular Science. Well, it says sold or spun off.
Okay,
I don't. What does a spin off mean? Is it they still have
No, that would be.
owe some allegiance to them? Or?
Does spin? I would need a business person to tell me. Does spin off or spun off or spin off? Does that mean you had to?
I don't know.
Well, here's
A sale is something you choose to do.
Here's the definition of spin-off: a byproduct or incidental result of a larger product. Here's another one: a product marketed by its association with a popular television program.
No.
Here's the third one: a subsidiary of a parent company that has been sold off, creating a new company.
Okay.
Been sold off.
It's been sold off to create a new company.
Sold off to who? Some other branch that they created.
Well, it could be a private equity firm that they have a
Possibility.
controlling interest in. Too.
Yeah, man, this is.
Of
course, with HBO comes all the Cinemax stuff.
I mean, Elon Musk's cousin.
they They own all the Entertainment stuff.
Elon Musk's cousins own Solar City or whatever they call it, and he bought it. He bought it from them.
Of course, all of Turner Broadcasting. They own all of that.
Of course.
They own a 10% stake in Hulu.
Okay.
Man.
So anyway,
poor Netflix. That's all I can say is poor Netflix.
Speaking of that, wow, what a subject to bring up.
Warner Brothers.
Poor Netflix, as you said.
Really? Yeah. Are you going to talk about their, was it one of the executives, his company, the,
I haven't heard that story. The story I have right here is about the fact that, and it's actually from Mac Rumors, but I don't think it's a rumor. They're going to, according to a latest article, they're going to spend $7 billion on original programming in the next year.
In the next year, $7 billion on original programming.
Yeah, and Apple has said they're going to spend $1 billion.
Yeah, I did see that as well. I will say this. Trying to think of all the Netflix originals I've seen.
I'm not a big fan.
I've seen some Netflix originals and they've been good.
I know, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
Well, there's things I don't watch. And there's reasons why I would. Well, we don't have HBO, but the other reason I wouldn't watch the leaking.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
The reason I wouldn't be watching the leaking Game of Thrones is
because you haven't seen the other episodes.
No, it's because there's things that I wouldn't be interested in seeing. That just things I don't watch, and a lot of the original Netflix is probably worse than MATV.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, they have a lot of.
Come on.
No, a lot of their originals are like family shows. I'm talking about like kid shows, stuff that even you're like too young for your kids.
Well, now that may be the case, but the ones I've seen for adults are all MA or worse, or stricter. Maybe I should say that. My point is that they have a lot of depiction of immoral things that I don't filter in my body. It's just not me. Whatever, but I just don't like watching that stuff.
Sure. To each his own.
I know that. But anyway, what I was getting at is
somebody needs to have a Game of Thrones show.
Okay, you could be
students listening.
Yeah.
Just saying. There's only got one season
left.
So
Apple has decided has come out $1 billion for them to invest in original programming is what I understand. Netflix is saying they're going to put $7 billion in.
So is Apple going to release their stuff to somebody else but themselves? How's that going to work?
I haven't figured. Well, I think this is going to be released, I would assume, through their app stores, or rather iTunes store. I would assume, okay. And then, of course, their Apple TV be available. So, however, I don't know if you find folks and listeners of the Hey Techies show, and we don't have too much longer here till we get our dose coming up. But have you noticed the ads for Hulu Live TV? Have you been inundated with any of those recently? I have seen a lot.
I don't get a whole lot of ads, and I haven't.
I'm talking about on television.
I don't have television.
Oh, that's right. That's good.
Oh, he's one of those cord cutters.
I forgot. Well, anyway, I decided to look into it, and actually, it's an interesting. It's an interesting selection of cable channels.
Yeah,
there are major ones there. There is in our area, according to what I read and looked up. I think CBS is a local channel on there. You can get CBS, and some of the others you can get on demand. All the major networks you can get on demand.
Okay,
you can get the ESPNs. You can get the SEC network. I think there's like 50 or so channels for $40, $39.99 a month.
It's cheaper to get satellite
live TV. Hold on, I'm not finished.
Plus
you get the Hulu streaming.
You still got to pay for the internet, though.
Yeah, you have to pay for the internet.
And that's going to be a lot of bandwidth.
And then
That's what I'm saying, it's cheaper for satellite.
YouTube TV,
Yeah.
live TV, they have increased. I think they're fixing to be increased to like 47 cities.
Yeah, they're increasing.
40, 47, 49 cities, somewhere
Yeah.
in the neighborhood. And theirs is at $35 a month.
Yeah.
But now it's not everything. As the person,
It's not,
as the stories pointed out, Cartoon Network's not included. You
Nope,
can't
sorry.
get that.
Gotta have my cartoons.
Well, I'm just saying that is one of them. There are. Have you noticed the Shark Week? Did you notice the Shark Week ads when they were going on? But you can only get it on DirecTV. You can only get it on cable. You can only get it on.
I can't say I did.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but some people did.
Interesting.
You cannot. You can only get it on Dish. The point was, cord cutters, you can't get this programming.
Guess what? Don't care.
And they basically, I know you don't.
And you're advertising to you're advertising to the audience.
I know.
The rest of the audience you don't want to lose. Please don't leave us.
That's true.
You can't get this anywhere else.
I agree with that. That's right.
And they're like, I'm done with you. People.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But in turn, what are the cable companies doing? Well, we're going to charge you more for bandwidth.
And we're going to stream the eclipse on the 21st. Going to help you find that.
I'll be curious to how much bandwidth is consumed just by the eclipse.
Well, not only that.
I wonder if somebody can keep up with that for us.
They say where all these people are going is going to inundate the cable. The cell networks.
Yeah.
That's what. Well, we have coming up. Our dose is upon us. And it will be, no doubt, a doozy. Don't throw that over my head, please. The Hey Techies Show
challenge accepted
will be back.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. A confusing series of events in Spain tonight, but what we do know at this juncture is at least 13 people are dead, upwards of 100 others were hurt when a van drove through a crowded promenade in the center of Barcelona, striking pedestrians. Authorities took 2 people into custody in connection with what they're calling a terror attack, but said neither was the driver of the van. Jim Kent runs an English-language radio station in Barcelona and describes the area where the attack took place.
Las Ramblas is the iconic central tree-lined boulevard of the city. And normally it's absolutely beautiful and it's filled with tourists and lots of little shops and stands as you walk up and down this street.
He spoke with NPR's All Things Considered. The Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack, something it has done in the past. There are reports tonight of various other raids in Spain that may or may not be related to today's events. The U.S. and Japan are vowing to step up their defense cooperation in the face of North Korean nuclear and missile threats. NPR's Michelle Kellerman has more on high-level talks at the State Department today.
After meeting their Japanese counterparts, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Defense Secretary Jim Mattis said their strategy is clear. Tillerson wants a diplomatic outcome, but adds there must be consequences should North Korea, in his words, choose wrongly.
We're prepared militarily. We're prepared with our allies to respond if that is necessary. That is not our preferred pathway, and that's been made clear as well.
Japan says it's boosting its defense capabilities. The U.S. and South Korea are also preparing for annual exercises next week. Mattis says the U.S. doesn't take its alliances for granted. Michelle Kellerman, NPR News, the State Department.
A lawsuit against 2 former Army psychologists accused of designing and taking part in the CIA's harsh interrogation of suspected terrorists was dismissed today. As NPR's David Wellner reports, an out-of-court settlement headed off a jury trial slated for next month in Spokane, Washington.
The American Civil Liberties Union brought the lawsuit against psychologists James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen on behalf of 3 men who were interrogated by the CIA. ACLU lawyer Hina Shamsi says though the terms of the out-of-court settlement are confidential,
this case speaks for itself, that there was a program of torture that Drs. Mitchell and Jessen helped develop and implement.
Reached by phone, defendant James Mitchell said he's happy with the settlement.
The plaintiffs say that we're responsible. We say that we're not, and that's where it stands at the end of the settlement.
The lawsuit had advanced further than any other involving the CIA's former interrogation program. David Wellman, NPR News, Washington.
Labor Department says initial claims for unemployment benefits fell by 12,000 last week to a seasonally adjusted 232,000. On Wall Street, the Dow dropped 274 points today. This is NPR.
Welcome back into our dose of the Hey Techies Show, and I guess I'm taking over because both my other co-hosts are sitting here on their devices.
I am prepping for our dose.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for bringing us back in,
Gary.
And if you'd like
welcome.
to be on the show, 256-782-5600. And you can be on the Hey Techies Show. We'd love to have you.
One more thing about the total eclipse or solar eclipse that's coming up. I found this during the break. And we'll put this link in the show notes as well. There's an Oregon man. He says 20 seconds is all it took for him to be left partially blind by the 1963 eclipse.
So you have 19 seconds.
So back then it was a total solar eclipse in Alaska and Canada, but the path totality did not come through Oregon. But it was like here was partial. He said, talking to a local station there, 20 seconds probably. That's all it took. I'm glad I didn't go for 40 seconds, or it could have been much worse. He doesn't remember exactly when he realized there was a problem, but those few seconds burned a hole in his retina, leaving him with a sizable blind spot that he's never had hadn't ever since. So let that be your warning, folks. If you're not sure, then look at it on live streaming on Twitter or NASA TV or whatever. It'll be all over the internet. But if you're unsure, just watch it on television, on some device. That way you won't take a chance, and you'll have your vision for the future.
Until the next eclipse comes around, at least.
Yeah, we'll save it for the next one.
Right.
So, please be safe out there, folks.
And also, another good thought that we had while we were on our very long break between our uno and our dose.
Intermission.
Yeah,
you got to listen to
intermission, if you will.
Jack Spear with NPR News.
That's right. So, it has been discussed to what effect this might take on, say, the power grid over the nation as a whole.
Well, I bet you wind will be fine because you have a difference in temperature. It may generate extra wind. But solar, you have to be relying on those coal plants. That good, clean coal.
Now, I brought that up because I had something I heard earlier this week. Because, see, I'm always, I know there's not that a lot of people don't have common sense, but an organization told, I don't know if it's the government or who was, or it was a news organization, they were telling, things that might happen, like you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
One of them was that some of your solar equipment might not work for a period of time. And I'm like, seriously? Really?
And probably, was it a government agency?
I don't know, but good grief.
If it was our government, they probably spent millions of dollars to determine that too.
I mean, really?
I mean, I'm serious. They probably spent millions of dollars to come to that conclusion. I'm like, I could have told you that.
I just had to shake my head.
Yeah. Since it may block the sun, yeah, I think you may have a problem if you're using something solar for a short period of time.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway. Well, if you don't know and you were not aware.
I wasn't aware.
You were not aware.
What was I not aware of?
Well, a disturbing thing happened over the weekend. And, of course, lots of people have seen it Guru doesn't want us to talk about it, really.
Well,
What are we talking about?
I don't want to bring the politics up to it. It's very. I will say this. It was very disturbing to me. I was very upset and sad for all those that were hurt and killed because of this thing. Because one thing in this country, we do have a right to assemble and to peacefully protest. Of course, this went too far. No matter who you want to blame, I don't want to talk about that. But it makes me sick. It came to this point. It came to that conclusion where people were, it got out of hand and people got hurt and killed. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, I'll put it this way. I'm not predisposed to understand doing any of this. Meaning, I just don't get it. I don't get protest. I don't understand them. I have never wanted to go to a protest. If you did, fine. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm talking about me.
You just had no desire.
I don't have there's not 1 inch of me that is in, even things I care about. I'm too busy working. That doesn't mean others aren't working. I'm talking about me. I just don't understand it.
Yeah,
I've never been interested. Even a particular thing that I'm very passionate about. Actually, I don't go march in those things. It just doesn't interest me.
Well, and you have that right. You don't have to go do that.
And another thing, I don't understand the violence aspect. I understand why it happened. I don't understand why it has to happen. And what I mean by this, I'm not ignorant of it. I just think it's senseless. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't get us anywhere. And this particularly to me is heinous because in a lot of ways, on both sides, a lot of what that's being fought over has nothing to do with the basis of what the nation was founded in, which is your pursuit of happiness, your pursuit of freedom as you see fit. I understand that we're free to protest, and you should be allowed to.
Absolutely.
But when you bring clubs and things, you got to know.
They're not planning on protesting.
They're not playing. Well, they are. They're not planning on peacefully protesting.
There we go.
I'm sorry. When you bring things that look like you should be on Game of Thrones, medieval-like, that you got to know something's up.
I will say that I guess I had my head stuck in the sand. Because even then, I still haven't gone back to read or view exactly what went down. But I remember somebody saying something about it, and I was like, "Do what now? What happened? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Where was I at?" And I guess I just was not on any media when that occurred.
Well, I don't blame you.
And I've got certain things that I listen to as far as podcasts, so I had not been exposed to any. I guess really I did. I had my head stuck in the sand doing non-outside world things, I guess is the best way to put it. But I'll say this. I don't, full disclosure here, I really don't know. Still don't know. Don't really care to know exactly what all went down and who was doing what and all that. I think I've made it pretty clear what my views are as far as our Constitution and what it protects. But I wish people just read a freaking book. Like, I've had this conversation over the summer because it blows my mind that schools are not requiring summer reading. And a lot of my peers that are around the same age, some a little older, some a little younger, didn't have summer reading, or they read stuff like Jurassic Park. Nothing with meat. And I
read Jurassic Park for fun.
Yeah. I'm it just everything that I know that has happened. It makes me, I guess, feel self-assured for forcing some of my relatives that are in high school right now. I made them read 1984 this summer. And I would think that'd be a good book to go read.
Yes,
especially during this and I'm not talking about what happened with the protest, but stuff that's happening online.
Well, a lot of stuff.
All this censorship, statues being torn down. Just step away emotionally from it, and just educate yourselves.
But I can understand companies who are not government owned or funded.
Sure.
They're individual companies owned by those who put up money to start that company, your shareholders, what have you, whatever your investors are. They decide to make a decision to limit this, that, or the other because of whatever reason. I mean, they really have that ability to do that. I mean, my point is, if they, like I've seen, it's a double-edged sword, but I've seen, and I'm going to get somewhere with this, so hold on. I saw where at least 2 people were fired from their jobs that I have seen reported because they were seen in pictures or videos either at the protest or near. One of them was near one of those guys, the guy who supposedly ran over the girl in the car and who's now arrested and accused of that.
He was arrested for being near.
No. He was fired from his job because he was seen near the gentleman who eventually is accused of running over the girl or killing the girl and injuring people. There was another one that was seen there as well, I guess in a picture, and it was made a big deal out of it, and another company has fired that individual. Now, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem as I see it. I do not care. I mean, I do not have any love for the several of these groups that were involved. I don't understand the neo-Nazis. I don't understand white supremacy. I don't understand any of these groups. I'm just being honest. As I told you, I can't. I'm a Christian first. I can't wrap my head around any of that stuff. Yeah. Okay? So that's where I'm coming from. However, it's an extremely slippery slope if we're going to fire people wait a minute, for their opinions and their viewpoints. Now, if you're talking about someone who physically did damage to someone else, that's a whole nother discussion. Sure. How you represent yourself away from your company could have effects on your company depending on how you're representing yourself. I got it. Yeah, there is some, but the slippery slope to me is at what point do we put a line in the sand and say this is hate speech and this isn't? That's my concern. That line could cross. If enough people say X is offensive and hate speech, then guess what? You're seen as something that you support. You're fired.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say they're already doing that right now with online music. That they're pulling anything that they deem
that's correct.
Hateful.
That's correct. I didn't say I like it. I'm just saying I'm concerned as a general citizen because this is a extremely slippery slope.
Well, this is the thing. They've already started removing things, and the CEO of Cloudflare, I think he's actually came out and said, I did that kind of
right.
It was a knee-jerk reaction. And it was a bad decision.
Right.
Again, just because you're hosting them and their industry is different. It is, and especially what for Cloudflare stands for.
Right.
But just to to say, well, I don't agree with what you have posted, so I'm pulling it. It is supposed to be unobtrusive. You were simply there to host. I mean, that's what it is. You non-discriminatory.
You can't just you're offering a service and taking people's money to host content,
Yeah.
and you're not editorial.
I agree with Michael that it as an owner of a company, it is totally your right. It is totally your right.
And should be.
It should be. But as far as technology goes, I think, and this kind of shows a problem with the industry, just in general, because everything is so technology driven now, that sometimes you just got to say it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's out there. I'm not touching it.
Right. I see that.
I'm not taking it down. It is totally, there's
websites have been taken down.
That's what I'm saying.
I know that, but I mean, there's not just them, but but I'm saying
list.
Other companies are doing it too.
Yes, and
other hosting.
Yeah, they just say, sorry, we're not here. You're not doing that. And the thing is it wasn't a problem until now.
Yeah.
I actually, yes, it is. Whatever website it was, I don't know what it was. I'm sure it was horrible.
We're not talking.
Yeah, but that's horrible today.
Well,
what's horrible tomorrow?
That's what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm agreeing with.
Right,
you.
I know.
And
something that's a bad thing that I think everybody can agree on, like human trafficking. If somebody's put up a site pro human trafficking, and a provider decided to take it down,
that's illegal.
I'm just I couldn't think of anything else, but something that is not polarizing.
Yeah, being racist isn't illegal. It's not.
It's terrible.
It's
terrible.
Awful, but it's not illegal.
Right, but
it's a thought. I mean,
what I'm saying is these are such polarizing topics now, and for companies to take sides on it, I mean, you're gonna offend somebody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Being racist isn't illegal. Being Muslim isn't illegal. Being a Christian isn't illegal. But at some point, somebody's going to say, hey, these things are offensive.
Now,
they've got to go.
I do have to make one correction. Now, I shouldn't do this, but because it's not fair. We are talking about America. Yeah. But I did want to back up.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not illegal in America.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Thank you. Being a certain ethnicity isn't illegal. I'm trying to help me out here.
I got it. I know what you're saying.
Being anything or just any thought is not illegal. Technically. But I mean, that's what you're doing, and I'm totally not saying I agree with the racist.
No, I don't. No, wait a minute. See, this is the problem.
Yeah, and this is the problem. But guess what? And I will say this: I wish I really do wish I had served in the military, because I would say I fought for their freedom to be stupid.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
To have their voice.
But the point is, if you have if you even try to have this discussion, automatically you get lumped in. Oh, you like what they did? Give me a break. That's not what we're saying.
Well, because I'm the wrong color for that.
Well, no,
to even bring that up.
Well, I get that, but that's not. But I'm talking about just I wasn't even thinking about that, but I know what you're saying. I'm just talking about just people to people.
Yeah.
It isn't really. I'm not thinking about the race of it. I'm just talking about the fact that if you want to discuss it, or even have a differing view of what somebody else might have, then we get into this situations. Well, you agree with them?
Yeah, it's like
you agree?
I do not.
No, that's not what we're saying. Yeah. We're talking about being able to disagree and have disagreements and have different beliefs, even if everybody else can't. Look, let's be clear. this country fought against Nazis
Yeah.
and the whole Nazi belief. And really, if you want to get down to it, a long time ago, we fought against the whole white supremacy thing.
Yeah.
Period. You may like it, fine and dandy. I think it's revolting and ridiculous, but that's not the point. The point is, should we decide that we're not going to allow it in society at all? A thought, not an action, a thought or words.
Yeah,
that's the danger.
Yes,
I'm totally
censoring it.
Yeah, I'm totally against it.
Instead, you should talk about it and say, "This is why this is wrong."
That's why we have a thing here that Bruce and I both, and the Guru have said. You want it to compete against speech you don't like, have more speech.
Yes.
That is the best thing you can do. That's why these bunch of numbskulls up there getting in these brawls, it just perpetuated this problem.
Yeah.
It did not help a thing. You didn't solve this, and a young lady's dead.
Yep.
We really solved a lot in that.
Yeah, if you don't agree with something, you need to let others know why you don't, and in a respectful manner, explain to them why you don't, and maybe you can convince them.
Yeah, but
sitting there swinging bats and plowing cars through people and this violence, there's no room for it.
And I want another thing that I'll say with this. It's not the majority, and I reject that belief.
I agree with that. It's
not. The media should be ashamed of how they're saying. They're making it look like it's a baloney. Shame on you. It is not the majority of thinking in this country. Most people go to work and earn a living for their families and for whatever that family is made up for, or if they're just a loner and they come back home and they work hard to earn whatever money they can get to keep.
Yeah.
They don't go out and protest. That's the rare few, and you put them all over television. And I got to tell you, I've been a little irritated about it. I know it's really frustrating to me because that's not who we really are. That whole term, you've heard it, I don't know how many times. Oh, that's not really who I am. Well, that's really not who America is. This is baloney. The people that were up there doing all that nonsense is a very small minority of society, but it gets all of the coverage, and that it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but most people want to live in peace with their neighbor. They might disagree with them and dislike them. They might hate the fact that they don't cut their grass, what have you, but they want to go home and live in peace and enjoy their life.
Well, look what the news organizations are up against. They're up against $7 billion investment against Netflix, $1 billion from Apple, Game of Thrones. I mean, come on, they've got to get attention somehow.
Yeah.
They'll have a group of 30 and zoom in and say it's 300.
Well, when we come back, we will have to get rumors in at some point.
Move on from this.
Maybe. I had a good monologue too, but I'm not going to get it in. Some other time, maybe. Well, the Hey Techies Show will be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have you with us. And if you want to give your opinion, we'll be glad to have you on. Or tech questions. We talk about all kinds of things.
As long as it's an opinion we agree with.
Yeah, we're censoring those. No. It just has to be clean. We do censor that. So we keep with the FCC.
And I'll tell you if I disagree with you.
Yeah, we do that, sure. Well, the guru this time is going to bring up rumors.
Rumors.
Tech rumors.
I've been sitting all day. My butt hurts.
Huh?
I've been sitting all day. My butt hurts. And my legs hurt. My knees hurt. I'm old.
I do kind of like bringing it in right after a break. It kind of like kicks the energy up to another level.
Sure.
We'll have to think about doing that later.
Kicks my feet up to another level.
Yeah, that too. I only have one this week, and of course it's Apple related because we're within striking distance of an announcement probably. They haven't really announced the date yet, but everybody's thinking first part of September based on history that we'll get some announcements and we can put these rumors to bed and we can start check and score and see how well we did on rumors. But this one is from CNET, and they're calling, the title of the article is the iPhone 8 name game. Why will Apple call its new phone? And we've been throwing out iPhone 8, iPhone 7s, 7s Plus, but what if they decide to do something different?
Wouldn't be a shock, actually.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it actually would be a shock for them to do something different.
Well, I mean, and
truly different. Not something that they're doing that people have done for
this
3
article
years.
kind of alludes to, we've always had, for the last few cycles of the new iPhone, we've had, first it was just like, it was one iPhone, boom, 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 and then they started doing colors, but it was the same device, just different colors. Well, when they got to the 6, they did 6 and 6 Plus, and then 6S and 6S Plus, 7, 7 Plus. Well, there's rumors of 3 devices this time.
That's
this
correct.
iPhone 8 that we've been calling it, this, and they refer is a top of the line model, and it's got all these different rumors and stuff. So let's see, I actually read this and I've kind of forgotten about it. They kind of throw out
iPhone 8.
Well, I mean that's what we've been calling the iPhone 8.
iPhone Pro.
Yeah, iPhone. Well, they call it iPhone Pro.
iPhone X or 10.
Yeah, iPhone X 10 because this is the 10th anniversary. Because in 2007 is when they announced it.
I think iPhone Anniversary Edition would be too close to Windows
Millennium
Anniversary Edition.
Or Millennium Edition. That's what I was thinking of. Windows ME.
No,
I can see it being the iPhone Pro, possibly. I think iPhone 8 sounds better because, this is even better than the 7.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
What label would help you justify laying $1,200 or more down on it?
Nothing. I'm not made of money.
So
if I was, I would lay down $1,200 for that phone if I was like Leo Laporte and just was made of cash.
Wait. Did I hear you say a phone's going to cost?
There is a rumor
we've been saying that for weeks, Bruce.
It could cost upwards of $1,200.
Gee, thanks for listening to the show.
$1,200.
Well, this is Apple related, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, $1,200. Sure, I could see a phone costing that much, but $25?
No, I said upwards of $1,200.
Oh, I thought you said $25.
No.
I can't.
No, I mean
I know I can see.
I can see it, but I wouldn't pay it.
My point is, he's talking about possible names for the phone. Sorry, we're having to bring Bruce back up to date.
Yeah, Bruce, since you weren't listening.
He's talking about possible names. My point is, what possible name would help you digest paying $1,200 for the phone?
I gotcha.
iPhone Pro.
Out
of all the ones they suggest in the article, iPhone Pro.
iPhone Elite.
Well, that's not what they suggested, but you got to be elite to be able to afford it.
Just iPhone.
How about this?
Some people are not wealthy, but they think they're elite.
The iPhone.
No.
The iPhone.
Yeah. iPhone Edition. Remember they had Apple Watch Edition? That was like that $12,000.
Oh, I've got a rumor.
Oh, sure. Bring it up.
that is Apple related.
That's a shocker.
You know,
hang on.
Real quick.
This is breaking news.
But I need something to put something in.
Interject
something before you go on.
Okay.
The one thing I want to interject is that I think the real shock will be is if this phone does not cost $1,200. Go ahead.
I think you're right.
So a rumor that I've heard is that Apple is trying to put a Apple Watch on as many wrists as possible with the help of Aetna.
Aetna.
Oh, the insurance company.
Exactly.
Well, I remember, it's been over a year ago, there was some insurance company was offering rebates for wearables.
Yeah, they want the health data.
Or maybe
we're not getting my data.
Or it may have been an employer insurance. I can't remember, but I remember there was something about people with their insurance could get a rebate for like a Fitbit. There was up to a certain amount.
Sure, because they want the data.
I will say that there are programs where certain like Fitbits, Apple Watch, you can pair it, and certain companies offer incentives separate from insurance that they, it's just like we've talked about it. There's
like you walk so many steps a day.
Yeah,
you get points for doing certain healthy things,
and they either put it towards letting you get some type of product, or they'll give you cash, on a card or something.
Yeah.
But there's definitely.
But it's a separate.
Corporations have health programs basically because they, it's in their best interest to keep a healthy employee.
And it's kind of a gamification of doing physical activity.
Yeah.
Because you get something in return. You can level up.
Yeah. Level up. Yep.
You level up, and then you get certain levels and thresholds. You can start redeeming points for prizes
or cash.
Yeah, like a
cold hard cash,
like an Amazon gift card or a gas gift card, or I think that's a good idea.
Well, there's people doing it.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
I just don't want that data shared with my insurance company. So I'm like, we're going up just on you.
Well, the problem is a lot of insurance companies. This is getting way off of tech. I'm derailing us here again, but this whole. A lot of employers' health insurance is now requiring, mandatory health screenings.
Yeah,
I mean they've got that data, and if you don't participate, they
up your premium.
They charge you more. They give you a surcharge, or if you do it, you get a discount. Which basically the discount was what it was before. They just
nowhere in the Constitution. Just adding that in.
Well, yeah, I mean
nowhere,
but they're using that data too. That's why I'd rather go to my own family doctor.
Totally illegal. But whatever.
But yeah, I don't want to get into the health insurance show, but anyway. But yeah, $1,200, like you said, iPhone Pro or whatever they're gonna call it. I can believe it. I'll be shocked if it's not $1,200 for that top of the line model. And I'm saying Guru ain't buying it. Guru don't have the money. Now if Apple wants to send us one for review, I'll be glad to review it. I'll send it back when I'm done. In about 2 years. No, I'm just kidding. But
I had said the other day my next phone might be an iOS device.
But I mean, and here's the thing. Hang on. Go ahead.
But I don't think I'll do that.
Well, let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you before you jump off that Android cliff.
Well, my watch. I like my watch.
Well, you'll love this Apple Watch.
No.
Well, don't those pair with Apple devices?
I don't think it.
I think they do.
Yeah, but I don't think it does. Go ahead. There is an iOS.
We keep saying $1,200 iPhone. That's going to be the top of the line.
No, I know.
You'll be able to get a new iPhone, whatever that 7S, whatever, will be about the price you're paying for the current top of the line iPhones. They're going to introduce an additional product that's at a premium level and a premium price.
But one of the rumors is, and I think we've talked about it, is that product will have an OLED display.
Yes,
but the others do not.
It'll have an OLED display. This is what rumors are pointing to. And I think a couple shows ago we had a link to a Mac Rumors page that kind of pulled all the rumors together.
Right.
But yeah, the rumors are pointing to an OLED display versus a LCD display. Wireless charging that's been coming out in the last few weeks, possibly some sort of a other way of biometric authentication other than fingerprint, maybe fingerprint. That's a lot of room. There's a lot of speculation there, but it's going to have an edge-to-edge, like very little bezel, if no bezel. Think of some of these high-end Android phones, how the screens look. I mean, it's going to be a premium device, but you're going to pay a premium price, but you don't have to. And I've said this, I think last week. I'm going to get probably, one of the rumors was pointing to the 7S smaller screen size having the dual lens camera. If that's the case, that's the one I'm getting, because I'm just not a fan of the bigger screen personally.
Yeah,
and I know people, coworkers and stuff that have it and they like it, but I've tried it in a case and in my pocket it's just too bulky.
Right,
and that's how I take my phone. I keep it in my pocket, unless I'm sitting down in the car at a desk at work or whatever. So, we're talking about smartphones. I had another thing real quick. We got a few minutes till the next break. So I'm gonna pick on the Android folks for a minute. Sorry, Bruce. Sorry, Michael. So
I don't make any money.
So the next major release of Android O. According to this article from Android Police, it'll be the last major version update for the OnePlus 3 and 3T, according to OnePlus's head of product. And of course, at some point they end the life of all this stuff, but apparently this flagship phone was only released 9 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Do what?
So a 9-month-old phone they're about to be able to put Android O on it here probably within next month or two, I figure. But a 9-month-old phone, 10-month-old phone, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
That's pitiful.
It is.
And people pick on Apple. You can run iOS 10 right now on 4- and 5-year-old devices.
Oh, yeah. I agree. We've
totally
said it many times on the show.
Even I've said that.
Yeah.
It's
pathetic.
That's pitiful. And this article,
what you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I mean, you're at their mercy.
Yeah.
That's one thing I tell people about Apple products in general is even their MacBooks and their PC products.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of longevity out of the device. I've got I forget what era iMac it is, but it's approaching 6 years. Still runs great. And I'm starting to think what's going to be my next device to replace it when it finally kicks the bucket, because now it's at a point where if it had major issues, it probably wouldn't be worth my while to fix it. Now, if the hard drive went out,
sure.
Yeah. But if the motherboard went out, something on the motherboard went out, you're talking $1,000 minimum. That's just why throw another $1,000 into that device when for about $1,500
you've gotten your money's worth out of it.
Yeah. Did Andrew show you that Surface laptop? Did you get to see
Yes, I did get to fill the carpet in the bathroom.
It's in the bathroom.
It's not what I thought it would be.
What was your thought?
Well, it's more like suede.
I wouldn't even say that, because suede has still got a lot of texture to it, and that felt like it had like a really thick Scotch Guard or something on it.
Yeah, it doesn't stand up.
Felt slick.
I think it might stain, but it's not what I thought. I don't think it'll hold crumbs.
Well,
it's not like carpet.
I told him, let's find out in a year.
I didn't say
it was comfortable.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was very comfortable.
Yeah, and brand new,
I was surprised.
And brand new carpet in the bathroom's nice too for about a day.
That's exactly what I told you.
That line's still funny, and I love it, and I would use it today.
Carpet in the bathroom.
But I'm trying to be honest here.
And don't take offense if you have carpet in your bathroom.
No, no. We're really not making fun of it, but we are.
We totally are.
We totally are. But really, seriously now, this Surface laptop, okay, I like the design, actually. It didn't feel cheap.
I agree with that.
Now, it felt sturdy. It did, and it didn't feel cheap at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've tried one out at the Microsoft store about a month ago.
And really,
and like one thing I did like I'm kind of
right, a keyboard.
About the keyboard. I really want a good keyboard.
Right.
I really am particular about it.
Right.
And it had a really good keyboard.
It did have a good keyboard. I didn't use it very long. I used a minute or two. I was just playing with it. But it has almost the same bezel design, really, as the Surface Book as far as the keyboard. But that Alcantara Surface on there.
Oh, that the name, that fancy carpet?
Yeah. I'm bringing this up because I did not know this.
I wonder if you get that material to put in your bathroom.
You can get it in a lot of
like in rolls.
Listen, you can get high-end cars. I did not realize this. I watched a video. Did you see that one I sent you? That guy did a review of the Tesla. I sent you a link, but you probably didn't. It's a guy I watch a lot on car reviews. He mostly does.
How long ago was this? Did you send this to me?
This week. He mostly does Lexus stuff. But anyway, he did one on an Acura, a $200,000 Acura sports car.
Oh, okay.
And inside that car,
NSX.
Something has an engine in the back, an electric engine up front.
Yeah.
Well, inside that car is that Alcantara, I think that's how you pronounce it, suede-looking material on the seats, on the door, sides of the doors. It was black. But anyway, what I was getting at,
like I said, I wonder if you can get it for like in rolls to put in the floor of your bathroom.
You could, you really could. It might, you could definitely vacuum
put it up the wall,
right?
In the shower,
sure, in the shower. It might be water resistant if you Scotch guard the heck out of it.
Let's spray a bunch of Scotch.
Was it to the group or just to me?
No, just to you. Well, I'm pretty sure I sent you. We'll figure it out later.
You sent my Game of Thrones map being torn down. But that was it.
That was so funny. Matt was trying to tear that off the wall, and it was pulling the entire sheetrock off the wall. I'm sorry. That's an inside joke, but it was so funny. I was wanting to pull that off the wall. Well, when we come back, we will be turning this show back over, because it's been a couple of times tonight, to the Guru. Don't go away. Stay tuned for This Week in Tech History coming up.
Oh, no.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show. Guru with all the music, by the way.
Yep, spinning the hits.
He does a great job every week.
Yeah, one of my channels on my satellite radio have been inspired lately by some of the bumper music you've heard on Hey Techies.
And if you can't hear the bumper music on the YouTube, we are sorry. We are trying to make sure that we don't get our audio taken off the air by YouTube. And they have their rights to protect, and I don't blame them.
And here's the thing: if you miss my bumper music, if you're not local to this area, of course, if you're local to this area, 91.9, 104,
102.1,
102.1 Oxford, and
98.1.
I'm glad you remember. Okay, those stations. But easiest thing, jsu.edu/radio.
Correct.
There's a link there.
That's right.
If you have the My JSU app,
right,
it's right on the app.
That's right.
You can play it right inside the app. So I could do it right now. It's probably gonna have a bad delay.
Or you can listen to it right there on that TuneIn app or whatever.
Yeah. That was almost verbatim. I knew it.
Oh man! If you are
no.
No. Good inside joke.
Yes, we're leaving it there.
Anyway,
I can't believe you had that. pulled up so quickly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh man.
it is this time that we take every Thursday and turn the show over, completely over. Not just a couple of minutes of an eclipse. I mean completely over to the guru for this week in tech history.
I'm eclipsing this show right here, folks.
That's right.
And I get to try to stump Bruce. And
Oh,
he's over there
heavens.
messing with the phone.
We are really...
You trying to phone a friend?
I'm just saying I'm not
You can
home.
tell it's like 11 minutes left in the show for sure.
So no phone a friends.
Phone a friend.
No
yeah.
50-50. No ask the audience. No search the internet. None of
Don't
that.
even get multiple choice here,
No,
man.
you can't call Regis. So anyway,
He
So-
wouldn't know.
you never know.
All right.
So your date is August the 17th, 1982. And our YouTube folks can't hear the Jeopardy music, so just hum it to yourself in the background.
Okay.
August
I think
17th,
I know it.
1982.
Wait, when?
1982.
What date?
August 17th.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
I think I know this. I'm trying to remember the name. I know what it is.
I did not... what did you said 72?
82.
82.
82. I know what this is. It was the first compact the CD. First CD was... It was an ABBA album.
Wow.
And it was... God, what was the name
This
of
is
the
not
album?
happening. I never thought he would guess this.
Oh my God, what was God, what was the name of the ABBA album? I can't think of it. Starts with the R, maybe.
Well,
No,
I'm gonna have
you're
to
close.
I'm gonna have to buzz you wrong.
No, you're crazy. He got it right. It starts with the.
Don't give him the answer.
I'm not giving him the answer.
I can't think of that. I mean, I haven't listened to ABBA stuff since
He got that one.
Mamma Mia.
It is a good song. But yes, it was the album was called The Visitors.
The Visitors
by ABBA. ABBA. It became the world's first commercial music compact disc manufactured, pressed in Langenhagen, Germany by Polygram Records, a subsidiary of Royal Philips Electronics. Philips and Sony co-developed the CD standard, which was designed to be the successor to the phonograph record. By the time the CD went on sale in November of that year, about 150 titles had been produced. 1982.
Where does he?
And that standard still lives on today. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I know my car is a CD player. Does yours, Bruce?
No, I don't.
Yours
have a
does
CD player
not.
in mine.
Mine does. Mine's within the last few
Really?
years.
Nope, it's all Bluetooth or USB. I don't even auxiliary. input.
Wow.
Really? Not even auxiliary? 3.5 millimeter?
Nope.
I got a 6-disc changer in mine.
Wow.
Believe it or not. I couldn't believe it.
It's been several years since I've had a car with... The last one that had a 6-disc, it was an N-6 disc. I remember some of the first CD changers in cars. You had the thing in the trunk.
Yeah, this is in-dash.
Yeah, then they started doing the N-dash ones, but mine's just got a single, which I don't think I've even used it once in my car, because if I play music, most of the time play it off my iPhone.
Understood. I got a pretty good collection of discs.
Well, good job, Bruce.
Thank you. I'm really surprised I got that one. Especially with the event that's coming up. I was planning on it being some obscure, space thing.
That was obscure.
It was very obscure.
It wasn't space.
But just so the audience knows, my buzzer still works. I still got it. So when
You used it last week, did you not?
Yes, he had to.
Yeah. Yeah, I like my process right buzzer.
I was really afraid I was gonna get it wrong.
Something else
2 weeks in a row.
happened this week in 2003,
Oh,
What date?
August 11th.
I want to look.
I vaguely remember this. Remember it probably too well.
Yeah, this we've probably cleaned a bunch of these.
Yes.
Was it the blaster
MS
virus?
blaster virus.
Yeah.
Happened too.
Okay.
Blaster worm.
Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They claim here, I didn't realize that it was this much. They claim it was an estimated $320 million in damage.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 320 million computers. I'm like, is that it? Man, as soon as you'd clean it.
Actually,
Microsoft
Microsoft estimated the number of machines affected was 8 and 16 million. But you are talking about 2003. You got to remember that.
Yeah, but maybe they were talking about just that year because, I mean, it existed for years after that.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I don't know what the total. I don't know what
they probably stopped
total
counting.
infection. Yeah.
Do they only count it once? Because I've seen people say, here, it's fixed.
Yeah.
You went back to that same place.
Speaking of that, in my daily work job, I have to deal with situations in this similar thing here, and one came recently, as a matter of fact today. A person thought they had a virus, and for all technical reason, according to them, well, I guess I can see that. But what they actually had was a browser hijack, is what happened.
Oh, is this what you were telling me about at
yes,
lunch?
they ended up having a browser hijack.
Oh.
Where it was an extension that had installed itself in Chrome.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Either they clicked on something they didn't.
They installed an extension?
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
There's several extensions.
Well, actually, they did admit they clicked on something that they didn't mean to. That's another funny story, too. But anyway, it was what it was doing was a site that when they went to search, because every time you'd bring up a tab, it would take it to their search page.
Yeah.
It would it would briefly throw up, I guess that's an appropriate term, a pornographic site.
Oh, no.
Before it would take them to the real site they were going to.
The real porn.
Yeah, no. The real site.
Trying to go to this porn site is taking to that porn site. This is hijacking.
Seriously, though. And so I did the spam thing where I reported that extension to Google when I deleted it.
I will say this too. If you install extensions into Google, if you don't use them, I'm saying if you've installed
and
one,
you just decide you don't,
go back. If you find I'm not using this,
delete it,
remove it.
Absolutely.
Do not, don't give another avenue into your computer. Of course, did we cover there was I think it was last week. I don't know. All these days run together.
That's true.
There was an extension that they actually got phished, and then
seems familiar.
They sent out an update to the extension that started redirecting a bunch of ad sites. So at least it wasn't completely malicious. I want to say it was out of Thailand or China. That where these ads
did cover
were
that. We did cover that. We did cover that last week. What's that good grief? I've forgotten it in a week. Oh my goodness. Well, let me talk about this real quick. Let me pull this up because I thought it was interesting. I gotta get.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
Did you know that Sony is rolling out the PS4 system update beta 5? It's a 5.0 beta. And here's a couple of things. It's supposed to have 1080p 60 frames per second broadcasting with the PS4 Pro.
Broadcasting?
That's what it says. The ability to disable pop-up notifications while you're watching movie or TV shows. I didn't realize. What's that? Surely they could already do that. But anyway, it also is supposed to have a new family management system.
That seems like they're going the way of Nintendo and Xbox.
They're also adding support for some foreign languages, such as Czech, Greek, Hungarian, Indonesian, just to name a few. Let's see here. It's just some menu changes. But it looks like the big thing they were talking about is that 1080p at 60 frames per second.
So sure it's 1080p or is it 4K?
It says 1080p at 6. What do you want me to say? I'm
4K.
Yeah, you want me to say that, but I can only report what this is being
4K.
reported. It's PC Magazine is the.
I have heard rumors. Back to rumors. The new Xbox that's coming out will only do 4K. Like, you cannot put it on a 1080p TV. So expect 4K to get cheap,
Folks, if you are from Connecticut and you happen to be in a city called Stamford, not Sanford, Stamford, Stamford,
Stamford.
That's
That's how they say in Connecticut.
They are considering legislation that would outlaw distracted walking.
I can believe it. You know, I will say I generally do not like to walk and read or text. I was on campus this week and found myself looking at my phone a lot while I was walking. But I always stop and check my surroundings before I do. You know what I'm saying?
Gary, you got anything you want to
add?
add?
Yeah, one thing real quick. Excuse me. So there was another technical glitch with one of our airlines, Southwest. And this technical glitch was causing people that had higher priority, like the frequent flyers of the airline, they get priority boarding.
Yeah.
And with Southwest, you don't have assigned seats. So you want priority boarding. You want to be one of the first on the plane so you can get to your favorite, whether it's exit row.
It's whoever checks in on their phone.
Well, but people that have high priority get to the front of the line.
Yeah.
Plus, if you pay it, you can pay extra.
Yeah, you can
too.
pay extra.
Well, apparently there was a problem with their system that people in these business select seats were not getting put in those first few boarding positions. And the CEO of the airline came out and said, you know, we expected some glitches. We just changed reservation system, but we didn't anticipate this one. So
our bad.
That's all it said. There was no other outcry talked about. This is from Airline Geeks. We'll have it in the show notes. You can
Well, I mean, it's Southwest. It's not like they're going to get too upset. It's cheap seats.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you again for joining us this evening, and we appreciate you listening. And I wish somebody would have called in, but maybe we'll try for it next week. From all of us to all of you, have a safe and wonderful weekend. Good night.